The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the New Media Factory. Some programs on this network might include strong images and language and may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
This episode of Hands On is brought to you by Sarasasal Football Club.
Why did you refuse to be the Azkals head coach countless times?
I've been there, done that. Too much politics, like I said. Like I posted one time a few days ago, coaching is a thankless job. With what's happening with Michael Weiss, we've talked about it already before, personally, one-on-one, and I said, it happens. And I said, you should know that because you worked also somewhere in other countries as well. There's no such thing as a permanent job in coaching, in any sport.
All right, guys, it's the 13th episode of Hands On, which means we're down to our finale of the first season. It's gone by so quickly, Coach Hans. Yeah. Ridiculous, right? So obviously, since it is our final show for season one, we tried to rustle up something, you know, we tried to do a little something. It's nothing huge, you know, we just brought in possibly, no, not possibly, it's for real, right?
It's a finale and we couldn't do any better.
Yeah, so just the most recognizable footballers here in the Philippines. We've got here Phil and James Younghusband. How did I screw that up? Phil and James Younghusband on the show. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for
Welcome to the program. Thanks for making time.
Thank you so much.
We know you guys are very busy, but you guys made time for this. We appreciate that very much. We're going to start the show off as we always do with Football 101.
Wait, I want to ask them a question.
Go ahead.
Doesn't your manager know about this? Because that's why I was reluctant to ask you guys. Because maybe your manager would not permit you guys to come on my show.
She knows, she's aware, yeah. So, yeah, she's fine with it, so.
Thanks, Kathy.
We regularly view your show, guys, so.
Yeah, that's right. Of course, we do have some goodies to give away on the show today. That's the first time that we've ever done that. Should we just flash them?
Yeah, just throw it.
Good arm.
Yeah, that was the Younghusband Football Academy.
This one is the Younghusband Youth.
Yeah, Football Academy, and then this is my one against Hong Kong.
Yeah,
This is the show
I think this is my favorite jersey too. I was looking to get this one at the Puma store. This is awesome. So you guys can... No. You guys, we'll be giving these away to some of the listeners and viewers. Of course, we'll figure out... we've got the mechanics and we're going to give that to you at the end of the show. So make sure you tune in, live.nmfnetwork.tv. It's kind of weird that I'm saying that now because you're probably already watching.
It's too small.
Parang sakto nga sa akin, Coach. Alright. So Football 101. Usually, you know, we want to, as much as possible, inform some of our viewers. Not everybody's very familiar with all the dynamics of football. So today we're talking about club versus international football, which is an interesting topic, considering that there are going to be some friendlies coming up in March, and obviously there are a lot of training camps as well that have been scheduled for the Azkals that could become a problem with the UFL. And let's talk about this real quick.
Right. Club versus international football. What can be said about that? Well, you know, when it comes to club, you'll see a lot of the great players from different teams or from different countries that play for a certain club.
Yeah, they'll play together.
All together. International, you see all of them come together. Like Phil and James here, they're playing here with us right now. But like, it's who? Rocky and all these guys who are playing for other clubs abroad. They'll come together, and usually there's a time frame there wherein the coach needs them to be together before they go out for the international friendly or international tournament.
Yeah, usually the conflict between the two coincides with it's really like a financial situation as well, because the clubs are usually the ones paying the salaries and the wages of the players, and they'll be a little bit more stingy with allowing players to go out when it's not a FIFA date or, you know, for extracurricular activities outside. So that's sort of the reason why clubs will be a pain in the ass when it comes to releasing their players for international.
It happens. But if it's a FIFA
accredited,
and there's a FIFA, how do you say, time frame.
Play
clubs should. Okay?
They're obliged to, right?
They're obliged to release their players for the national, because that's flag and country.
Okay.
But besides that, then the club can always deny certain player or players from their club to be joining this. If it's if it's something different, if it's not a real big thing like what happened in previous years, where the Philippines here didn't know anything about it, so there were people that complained. So right now in the Philippines, we're getting there. We're knowing more how to deal with these situations. Now, standard of play. Well, I'll ask Phil and James. Standard of play definitely a bit different. But I've noticed, guys, that club and international, meaning national sides, there's not too much of a big difference now. I don't think there's too much of a big difference now.
If you're talking about like the elite in Europe, but like for us here, well, like a new league in the UFL, and then you're going to go off and play Azerbaijan on March 5th. That's going to be sort of a different standard of play, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think it's the standard of play. So the question is the difference.
Like
what's
how
the standard of play like now?
Right,
Does it improve? Okay, yeah. I mean, I think it's definitely. I mean, the standard of play. Well, the league's getting stronger here in the Philippines. So obviously, having a lot of foreign players come in as well, it's making the league stronger. And obviously, the competition between teams is a lot better. I remember the first years of the UFL, the top teams would beat the bottom teams. Maybe by 10 goals or more.
Yeah.
But now you're seeing the bottom teams against the top teams, maybe it's only by three goals or 4 goals. So it's definitely improving, and obviously as the teams get stronger, the level of play gets stronger. That will help us internationally as well, because we'll be more used to playing against top opposition.
Yeah, me personally, like, I remember we've been with Morocco Sparks now for 3 years. The first year it was this level. Next year, being honest, I found it more difficult. Like, in terms of play, you had more time on the ball. Now you get the ball, you have to make your decisions a lot quicker. Players, like, teams are more closer together and more organised in terms of pressing you. And then this year, I found it more difficult as well.
Yeah, the gap's closing.
You know what I think? It also depends on the standard of the coach. For clubs, it's almost all the same. But when it comes to international, for national sides, I think that all depends on the coach. Okay, I'm not trying to say anything about Michael Weiss or anybody else before him or after him. But I think, because it's kind of hard also, with clubs, because you get to see each other almost every day.
Yeah.
You train almost every day. For national side, you get yourself what? I think sometimes it's 2 weeks.
2 weeks. The actual rule is 2 weeks for competitions, 2 days for friendlies.
Yeah,
So.
see?
Wow.
So that's a big difference. That's why a lot of people, like I've told Michael Weiss, you should eat all of these criticisms or what have you, because a lot of people, especially in the Philippines, I'm sorry, Filipinos, but you don't know too much of what goes on in the football.
And they'll criticize.
Yeah, you get criticized because you don't have the players that much. Not like varsity teams, club teams, even elementary school kids see each other more than a national team.
Yeah.
So the standard would also come out from how good the coach would be.
Yep.
Okay, and in terms of the play. And you can see in the past years with Simon, with Michael, there were changes. You can see there were differences in play with these guys.
I think like also in terms of like the World Cup in Europe as well, when they do it, you'll see like a drop in a level of team chemistry as opposed to if you're watching Barcelona play. Well, I guess Spain's not a great example because they all play with each other, but like if you watch like England play, they'll be completely different to like the team chemistry is very...
Yeah. That's one of the things we were saying. I mean, you look at Spain, maybe 7 or 8 of their starting lineup are in Barcelona team.
Yeah.
Right.
You look at Germany, 7 or 8 of their players are from Bayern Munich.
Right.
Whereas England, you've probably got 2 or 3 players from one club, and then the rest are from different clubs, and it's obviously they're not used to playing with each other. So that's one thing we always say. We're not saying we should all play for one club in the Philippines,
Right.
but that is.
Are you saying Dan Palami is global?
I'm not saying anything.
Sorry, Dan.
But it possibly helps to have all
Yeah,
your
of
players
course.
playing for one club as
Right.
well. So then the transition from club to country is so much easier.
Yeah.
The English team, right? I mean, mostly Man U.
No.
Back in the
Before.
you used to have Gary Neville and David Beckham playing together on the right hand side for Man United, and then when they played for England, it was so much easier for them to play together.
Yeah, because like Michael Owen, when he was in Real, when they were playing Man U, he was not playing in his position. He was playing as a winger, and he's a striker. So it depends on who you're going to be playing against. That's what I'm saying. It depends also on the coach.
We always talk about we played for England was Emil Heskey. Emil Heskey.
Big Hes.
And when he made his debut for England, we were like, he's playing brilliant. And his partner up front was Michael Owen. They probably played together at Liverpool at the time as well.
Right.
Nice pair.
I think also with the standard of play, I think also now with national teams we're playing against a lot stronger teams.
Yep.
Before we were playing against Cambodia, Timor-Leste, Southeast Asian teams within who are the lower ranked teams. But now we're playing against the Thailands, the Malaysias, the UAEs, and the competition's getting a lot tougher. But I think that's good. I mean, if me, James, Chiefy, Chris, we're all going away, and then we're coming back to the league, it's making the league stronger as well.
Right, right.
So I think they work for each other, you know.
That's what we've been trying to explain here in the show. Mostly, a lot of the episodes about to the Filipinos, especially the kids who don't really understand. Because, like I said, you know, you guys lose a game against Kuwait. They're forgetting.
We're QAR compared to us.
And UAE and
In UAE, I mean, guys, take your time. I mean, football is just picking up.
I mean, UAE, their top players were earning 6.8 million pesos a week.
A week.
You know,
That's
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that.
We're in the wrong country.
so those sort of things. You look at the money that they've invested, the stadiums, the facilities, everything they have,
Right.
and we're pretty much just starting. You know,
Yeah.
But we can get there. You know,
Yeah, of
but it
course,
takes time.
yes.
So,
But just believe.
yeah.
In terms of the rivalries, then obviously it's a bit different. It'll be, you know, instead of like you supporting Loyola Morocco Sparks, and then when the game comes around and you're playing global, then there's a bit of a rivalry there between those two clubs. But when you're talking about Philippines versus Indonesia, I mean, you guys went over to Indonesia, and then obviously there's a bit of that rivalry that's growing between the two countries. That was pretty nuts. I mean, that was a friendly, and like how many? Like,
No, Indonesia are crazy.
Yeah, they love their football.
Yeah.
They really love.
Remember,
their football.
I'm from there. I know how crazy they are. The rivalry international is Indonesia-Thailand. Indonesia-Thailand. Like Korea, Japan.
Yes, Korea.
They hate
Japan.
each other.
Yeah.
Okay? I've got kids who are Japanese or Koreans. They don't.
They
You
don't get
know,
on.
There's still a bit of tension.
only
there.
when they play football, they play as a team. But when they're
That's the
out,
amazing thing about football, then.
look what Pele did before. If you
Yeah.
guys, I don't know if you guys were still, if you're already people at time, if you're already born. Pele is the only human being, I could say, only individual who has stopped wars. He came in and I don't know, is it the Congo or somewhere in Africa? There was a truce. Both sides were killing each other.
Yeah.
But when Pele came, he didn't come with Santos or Cosmos.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly. But he came for an exhibition, he played, and there was no war. There was a truce for how many days?
Yeah.
A few days before the match, then a few days after.
Yeah.
After that, they can go and kill each other.
Go back.
They did it. And Pele is the only individual which Muhammad Ali admitted that he cannot beat Pele because Pele has met the most kings, heads of states and everything.
Right.
And proud to say because he's a football player.
Yeah.
You know, it's like what Muhammad Ali did for boxing, Pele did for football.
Yeah, exactly. I think, going back to that stopping wars, I remember, when you see on the news, you see about Afghanistan, you see all the wars going on. Remember just maybe in November, looking on the news, they've won their first football competition.
Right.
And everyone's on the streets in the cars waving the flag, and that's the first time I've seen news about Afghanistan where it's been positive, and
Right.
that's what football's been able to do. So.
Yeah, sometimes football, that's why they call, you cannot be, you know, like what Chris Monfort used to say, how many billions of people can't make a mistake. Football's the only sport that you can call a universal sport. It's not a worldwide sport, it's a universal sport.
Yeah.
It gets everyone together. It's like you talk about music, everybody, you know, just keeps quiet. In sport, it's only football that can do this.
Yeah.
And it's just like I don't know, I keep on saying we need to do a lot more here in the Philippines to let the Filipinos, especially the kids, understand the game more. And especially the parents of the kids, especially the 12 and unders, you know, hinay-hinay lang. The parents are the ones that get into fights.
Right.
I also,
No, we've seen it.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of
Seen it
that.
at festivals.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
The parents are sometimes more into it than the
And it's the
kids.
12 and unders. You don't see it anywhere the other age groups. It's only the 12 and unders. Because if I always tell the parents, if you don't want your son to get hurt, let him play chess or something. So, you know?
They forget why they got into the sport. As well.
Yeah. But supporters, well, like you guys, you guys, was it the wildest when you guys went to Indonesia?
The semi-final, the 88,000. Yeah. I mean, we were only 5 minutes from the hotel. Was only 5 minutes from the stadium.
But it took you about an hour?
Took us just over an
Maybe
hour.
more, actually,
And
maybe more.
They were rocking the bus and
Threw stuff at the bus.
sticking their middle finger up her ass.
And then everyone's like, oh, weren't you scared? We're like, no, we loved it.
It gives you adrenaline, it makes you more pumped up for the game.
Yeah.
So definitely that was the loudest. I remember Jason De Jong went on a run and I was asking him to pass me the ball and he didn't pass me the ball. He went for a dribble and then tried to get a foul, but the ref didn't give it. And then I remember I went up to him about this far apart and I was like, Jason, screaming at him, but he couldn't hear a word. He couldn't hear what I was saying. He didn't even know I was actually screaming at him at the time, but that's how loud it was, and it was that was a good experience.
Indonesia was known to be even a volleyball game. A lot of people go home without their shoes or slippers or sandals.
Because they throw it out?
Yes, they throw anything anything they can throw on the court, on the field, they would.
Yeah.
That's why if you look at Senayan Stadium, have you guys been to Senayan Stadium in Jakarta?
What's that?
Senayan
Is
Stadium.
that the national?
Yes. That's the first Asian, not South Asia, the first stadium in Asia that had a moat. You know?
What's that?
They put the back.
Yeah.
Oh, there's like a barrier.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know how many feet deep, and cement. So that just to stop the fans from coming over and going to the field.
Yeah.
And those are how many thousands of course now there are bigger stadiums right now in Japan, Korea.
Right.
But Indonesia, just to show you, this is, I think I was still a kid. I was still in Indonesia in the 60s when it was already there. So I think they built that for the Asian Games decades ago. But it was the only stadium that had that. Just imagine, the people are crazy even decades ago. Now that a lot more people understand the sport, it's crazier. Because when I heard that, when it was, when you guys were going to Indonesia, I said, oh shit. I just hope you guys have security. Because they're crazy. Like, just how many minutes away from the stadium to your hotel? It took you more than an hour.
But that's good crazy though, right? I mean, that's what you
crazy.
want from your supporters. I mean, if you're coming back here, I mean, what would be the game that you guys felt that the best support came out for you guys?
The World Cup, Sri Lanka.
That was a great time.
Sri Lanka,
Here.
Kuwait.
The one here in Rizal?
The one
How
here.
big of a difference is it? Like, imagine if that was empty.
It gives you adrenaline. It gives you more confidence, and you see all the home teams. It's like a 12th man.
Yeah.
So having your fans support you and be behind you, it gives you added confidence and gives you more thrust to attack more and be more positive.
Yeah, we used to have the Azkals like as players. It starts when you come out onto the field, when you check the field out.
Yeah.
That's the atmosphere.
It starts there.
You kind of that helps give you that extra boost for the game, makes you more excited. If you come out to an empty stadium, it kind of you're unmotivated.
Not like Neil when he came out also, but he was suspended and all. You felt
That's Neil.
I think that does it for Football 101. Yeah, I mean, we talked a bit about international and club.
Unless they want to say something else, if you've got anything to add. You got anything to add?
I mean, rivalries. I think there's lots of rivalries within the UFL right now. I mean, I think all clubs we're all in Manila, so we're all rivals, and everyone wants to beat everyone. And I think as I said, in the European leagues you have maybe 2 or 3 rivalries, but I think in the UFL you've got a few more than that, and I think it's good and it makes it more competitive.
Well, because
Absolutely.
the typical Filipino mentality is, no one's going to get one over me.
Yeah.
If anybody that's one over me, I'm going to get you the next time.
Yeah.
That's the Filipino mentality.
And now we've got more games against each other.
Oh yeah. We're going to see each other 3 times.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, supporters-wise, I think that's the thing. Forget about all the money. The supporters, that's what gets you wanting to be a professional footballer at a young age. Seeing people admire footballers, seeing them come to their games, and seeing performing in front of loads of people. That's what makes kids want to be footballers when they're older.
We'll finish with this, but as James just said last, this is what I've been saying to your coach more than a year ago, I think. You should not bring, I don't know, but my personal feeling, I know I'll ask your feeling about it. My personal feeling about bringing 2 young guys, they're too young to come in and earn a salary things, because they will tend to forget their education in a while. Okay, Vince was wanting to bring in a lot of 10 youth players. Well, you can do that fine, but I wouldn't give them a salary. I would give them allowance maybe. but not to tempt them to quit school. Because remember, Nano and Boogs and all these guys,
Yeah.
they don't come from well-to-do families.
Yeah.
They're here, Manila, through football to give
Yeah.
us a second chance, a better life.
Well,
You know,
well maybe the should have a rule where has to be a minimum age to be able to have a contract
Exactly.
within the league. I mean, maybe it has to be you have to have completed 3 years of college, 3 years of college before
Yes.
you can actually. You can play in the league, but before you can have a contract within the league,
Right,
with a
right.
salary within the league,
Yeah.
maybe they can do it that way to protect the young
Yeah.
kids. Because I do agree, they need to make sure they have finished their schooling.
Yeah, because, I mean, football's football, yeah. It's a livelihood for the four of us here. But, we went through the youth level and all this. Having our asses kicked and all this, having a hard time and at the same time studying. Because there's a lot, I'll tell you one fact that's very evident. Like last year, when I had my tryouts for the university team, right? This is the first time I had 34 walk-ins. That's besides my recruits. 34 walk-ins who all could play.
When was this, Coach? Sorry.
Just last year.
Just last year,
Before the school year started.
Okay.
Okay. 34 that all knew how to play. I found out 34 never took the entrance exam. So I told the kids this early on, I think you better go look for another school or what have you, because this is not the UFL. That's what I said, exactly. This is not the UFL. You don't try out and make the team and get your salaries or what have you. You need to take the entrance exam first in the school, or if you wanted to try out for a certain university, you have to talk to the coach early on so you can be given a schedule to take the entrance exam. Whether you pass or fail, whatever happens. But at least that's prepared. These kids came from the provinces. They came from the provinces to come here, Manila, to look for get a better education and through football, move up. Okay? But you see, this is, the Filipino way is fast forward all the time. When you want to take baby steps, the Filipinos will take one step over 3 baby steps just to get there. There's a term for that.
Shortcuts.
Yeah, well, right? Perfect, exactly. The shortcut. That's why I'm telling the guys, the younger ones now is, do things properly, because you might lose your chance.
Yeah.
You leave your province, you come to Manila, you don't make it to any other team. By the time you get back to your province, it's too late.
Yeah.
You might have missed already 1 semester of schooling. And I know there are some provinces, some kids are just out to just play football.
Right.
That's it.
But I think that's a good testament to football and how fast it's grown.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I agree with you. I think schooling is important, and people have to be educated about that, and hopefully.
Did you guys know that one of your coaches in Azkals, I told him he was stupid when he was still young,
Which one? Which coach?
from the Air Force? Rocky.
Coach Brax.
You heard about? No. When he was 17, 18, he was asked to go to Germany and try out
Okay.
for second division. Not third, not fourth, second division team, I think, or third at the most. After how many weeks or months, 2 months maybe, he came back. So I said, what you doing here? Coach, I played lousy. I said, you dumbass. You're the player. You don't say you played lousy. You let the coaches tell you that.
Right.
But yes, he's a striker. Very damn good striker, Bracky. Don't look at him now.
Yeah.
He looks more pregnant than his wife. But
No, he's done well.
lost
He's
a
done
lot
well.
of
I know.
He had like a whole makeover and
Don't
everything.
say that. I was trying to hit him. I love insulting. No, but what I'm saying is, if he didn't make that, the coaches there would look for somebody else, right? Did you know also that the older brother of Nona Araneta was a star in Germany?
Yeah.
And he had no plans of playing there. He just followed his wife. His wife was a nurse there. He followed B-Boy Araneta. He looks younger than Nonong. Sorry, Nong. But his older brother. And he played for a couple of years there. And he was a star in his community. Every time he goes out in the morning, the kids and all that come out. We had also Oliver Guy, a biggest goalkeeper before. But very fortunate of him, his first match, he got injured and that's it.
Wow.
But the club gave him a job.
Right.
He loved tinkering with motorcycles, so he came a mechanic there. They gave him a job in Australia. I forgot which part of Australia.
And I think that's why it's important to have that education in case.
Exactly.
I mean, you never know, right? I mean, something bad might happen. I mean, God forbid that it does early in your career, but you have to have a fallback. You have to have some sort of skill as well to keep you going. So Football 101, well done and dusted, right? We want to say thank you, by the way, to Hungry Juan, man. You guys are awesome. Thanks a lot for coming by.
That's not one time, huh? That's why hungry one, baka this time lang, you say hungry one. One time lang.
That's JUAN. They come around and sponsored us with some food, so that's awesome. And once again, thanks to Sarah Sasal Football Club, of course, always supporting the show for the entire season, so it's been amazing.
Ay, Lea Ray, patapos na yung episode, baka gusto mo pang sponsor ulit. Second episode.
So that's done it for Football 101, yeah?
Yeah.
We'll do that. Okay, so Phil and James on the show. I've always wanted a chance to have a chance to sit down with you guys and pick your brains about some things. You guys arrived here before the Azkals blew up, right? That was in 2010. You guys were here when?
2005.
2005.
We actually we first joined for the 2005 SEA Games in Bacolod.
Right. Oh, damn. All right. So is it true that you guys got picked out through FIFA? Like the game?
Football Manager.
Yeah, I remember we were in, actually 2 weeks before, we were in the changing room and one of the players, we were in the youth team reserves at the time,
of Chelsea, right?
So one of the players came up to me and said, oh, you should try play for the Philippines. That'd be so cool if you play for the Philippines. 2 weeks later, Chelsea, they call us into a meeting, one of the managing directors, and says, oh, we've got a call from the Philippines. We're like, wow, we were just talking about that 2 weeks ago. And then he was like, yeah, they were wondering if you'd be interested in representing the Philippines.
Right.
And then it went on from there. But then, we found out, then we spoke to the PFF and they said, actually, we found out you were eligible because someone came to us and said they found you on the Football Manager and showed that you were eligible to play for the Philippines, and then they contacted us. And
How long did it take you guys to decide?
Trying to remember that.
Be honest now. Don't give me any politically correct answers.
We had to find out the rules for
eligibility.
Eligibility, yeah. We had to find out the rules.
Okay.
Chelsea did that for us.
Because we were called up before to play for the England schoolboy level.
Yeah, and we didn't know if we were allowed. If we were called up, if we were allowed to play for the Philippines.
If you did play, you would be in the same boat like Alaba.
Alaba, yeah.
Alaba.
But that's only if you play for the senior level.
Yeah, that's only senior level.
For senior.
We didn't know that. That's why we.
So they actually found out under the age of 23. They said you're allowed to change once.
Right.
If it's not senior level, if it's ages 23 or under, you're allowed to change from one country to the other. So once we found out all the rules, the rules and what needed to be found out, we said, we'll play for the Philippines.
Chelsea did it for you guys.
Chelsea, they did all the rules. They went to the PFA, they went to the FA. They found out the rules, and once they told us, that was
they're very supportive.
Or it's either that, or they just want to get rid of you.
Yeah, things like that.
So when you arrive here and then you're getting your asses kicked on a regular basis, what was that like?
We first came. We were coming here anyway it was the end of season there in England. So this is like June and July here, or everywhere. Sorry, and we're coming here for vacation anyway. And Domica invited us to come train with the team because the training had already begun with Coach Aris in Ultra. So that was our first training session. And our first training session, I had trouble breathing, getting used to the weather.
Getting used to the weather or getting used to the sand of Ultra?
Yeah, I picked up a brig and went, what's this? And then we were welcomed by some players were very nice, and some players obviously saw we were new there and kind of kicked us a bit.
Is that Timo?
I think so. Timo. We're great friends now, though. We're great friends. Obviously, wants to welcome you, show you how it is.
And then when you guys found out that the team wasn't really doing well, wasn't really performing well, at the time,
we never entered our mind that whether we played well or the level of play. Obviously, when we turned up to Ultra, that was the only thing that was a concern, But in terms of the quality of the team and being with the team, there was never entered our mind.
We just wanted to play
football.
We
just wanted to play, and we were actually looking forward to playing with the boys. So.
And like they say, the rest is history.
Exactly.
No, wait, I'm going to ask you a question. Remember, I told you guys, relax. I don't know if anybody ever asked you guys. You've always played together. Have you ever thought, has it ever crossed your mind, have you ever talked about it, that James Younghusband will be playing for this team and Phil Younghusband will be playing for another team? Has that ever entered your mind? Besides, was that question ever asked of you?
No,
Not in that way. Not in that.
Yeah, not
Not in that way.
context.
James, people say
I'm
Actually,
stitching you up on it.
yeah, I mean, only the clear match we've played against each other, but it's not competitively, you know. It's still an exhibition game, but it's only that opportunity in the clear dream match we've actually get to play against each other. But in terms of competitively and earning our living playing against each other, we've never had an offer. We've never had an offer, and it's never been.
But have you guys ever talked about it? Even after a few bottles, you know, and people just start thinking weird. Because that's going to be a weird thing, thinking about you two separated and playing for different teams. You never talked about it.
We would say we're bigger value together than we are against. But
we'll be honest with you now, we had a little fight last night, we've made up now though. But no, we always have our fight, like obviously, like as Phil said, we work better together, and I still have the image in my mind when we were little kids and Phil was playing for one team, I was playing for the other, and I kind of did a bad tackle on him. Not intentionally, and our dad really told me off and everything. He said, you have to look after him and everything, so I mean, I'm worried that will happen again. So.
I don't think that opportunity's ever come across that we've had to even discuss it or think about it, because when I left Chelsea I came straight here, and then it was the national team, and then after the national team it was my first club was Morocco, so we've never had a point where he's had an offer from one club and I've had another, so we've never even had to think about it.
So you are the epitome of a package deal that they say.
Package deal,
You can't.
The best package deal.
When you get one, you have to get the other one. Buy one, take one. But in this case, you gotta buy one.
No, I like to think of it like you get it's like you got a gift or something, but it won't work without the other things.
Yeah. No, besides, that's no problem.
You won't get the best quality without this thing.
Yeah, no, because in terms of football, it serves the team better. Why? Because you're both playing different positions. You're playing the same positions.
Exactly.
And if you're playing the same position, there'll be a rivalry for sure.
Especially the topic we're talking about international country, international and club football.
Yeah.
Best teams are ones that play regularly together.
Exactly. Yes. Because we've had some brother panels here way before. I mean, much older than me. Batch of Nono Araneta and all that. We had the Morans. We had the Delfinos. Okay, I'll say the Caballeros. Caballeros, my friends, good friends, teammates before. But you know, it's like a magnet thing. You know where your brother is. You don't have to look for your teammate right away.
Yeah. So James knows I'm going to make that run, so he just looks for it every time. So.
In high school, it used to be ball from goalkeeper to right back to me, straight over the defence to Phil goal. Phil scored like 40 goals a year. Well, I'd have about 40 assists.
What have you told Phil when your dad or your mom gives you extra bonus for scoring? Since you're the older one, don't you tell him, hey, give me half of it. Without me, we'll be scoring, right?
We got paid by our mum and dad when we were
Hey, that happened to me years ago. I had a player in high school. No wonder he never passed the ball. He would score.
Paid for
Then I found out that the dad would give him 100 pesos every time he scores. When I found out, I told the dad, stop. Because he wasn't playing team. He was just, no really, it's true story.
But if he gets money for assist, that's the way it should be done.
Maybe.
That's why it was equal money for assist and goal. So you're always looking to set people up as well.
Yeah, exactly. And, I've been saying it before, I've also said it during, when I've been, I was a commentator, analyst for the Azkals in some games. For the kids, those who love to play the wing, I'm not saying this because Phil is here and James are here. Okay, I don't have to kiss their ass. The real cross is really what James does. High and curving for the strikers or any of the other teammates to come in and to receive that ball. Like Phil's got a height as a striker, he's got the first touch. So when James crosses the ball, it has to be really that high. Here in the Philippines, kasi Filipinos are not that tall. So even when they were kids, the coaches never correct them on how to make the cross, as long as it goes over. I can say to myself, I just say, when I started with my teams, I just stand in here. I say, you better put that ball over me, because I'm 6'1", put it over me. If it's here, somewhere, wrong cross. But a real cross, especially for international, It's what you do. High balls. I would love to have Jeffrey do that also. Jeffrey has a good fucking left.
Yeah.
But his for me, his balls are not that high.
Is it Christians?
Yeah. How many Jeffries are there in the team? Liman? Saying because, no, because you see, why are some crosses not reached by Phil or...
We gotta go for a commercial break. I'm sorry, we gotta cut you short for just a second.
Cutting me short?
We gotta go on break. We'll be right back after.
Hi. They say nothing in this world is free, and for the most part, that's true. But here at NMF Network, all shows are indeed 100% free. And as an added feature, you have the option to subscribe to all your favorite programs, also at no charge. Why should you subscribe? By subscribing, you no longer have the hassle of delays when you stream the program. You also don't need to keep checking our site to see if your favorite programs are up, because they'll automatically be uploaded to your device as soon as it's available. Here's how to do it. For those people with Apple mobile devices, first you need to download the podcast app. Once you download the podcast app, open it, and you should be taken to the featured page. Now, you look for the store button. Hit the store button, and after doing that, hit the search button. Put your cursor on it and type New Media Factory. All our shows should automatically appear. Pick your favorite or favorites, open it, and hit subscribe. And that's it, you're done. Congratulations and welcome to the New Media Factory family.
Then the maid got jaundice. Jaundice is different from jaundice. Jaundice is buntis, like that. But she does not... Tears up! Tears up! Anyway, jaundice does not know... This is professional show. I will put the merienda here. So, jaundice. And I'm now happy to present to you Carl Lutario. Halika dito, te! Tabi tayo! Gusto mo ng snacks? Ano ba to? Ganyan ba yan? Tapos...
Ang puti, mama.
Ay, tapos. Dito ba? Pwede ba dyan?
Pwede. Concealer. Yan, para sa show mo, ha? Oh.
Aray ko, amayaya ba? Pwede ba itong ano? Zora, pang ano ba to? Oil absorbing? Pwede ba itong pang nose line?
Tita Kay, may caution.
Caution! Caution! Basta ng glamour, te!
When used for the first 2 weeks, more pimples will appear. Burahin na sila.
Oh my God!
Sorry, ma. Ito talaga?
Hindi, bago yan. Don't worry.
Buti ako sa mata lang. Hindi naman nagkakapyo. But dapat pala caution mo na yung pinasa natin.
Join your host Carrots Nazareno on Live Love Lols every Thursday, 7:30 to 8:30, only here on The Factory.
Hi. They say nothing in this world is free, and for the most part, that's true. But here at NMF Network, all shows are indeed 100% free. And as an added feature, you have the option to subscribe to all your favorite programs, also at no charge. Why should you subscribe? By subscribing, you no longer have the hassle of delays when you stream the program. You also don't need to keep checking our site to see if your favorite programs are up, because they'll automatically be uploaded to your device as soon as it's available. Here's how to do it. First, open iTunes. Your next step, hit the iTunes Store button. A search bar should open up as soon as you do that. Type New Media Factory in the search bar, and all your shows should open. Pick the show you like, or all the shows you like. And once that opens, hit the subscribe button. And that's it, you're in. All shows will now be automatically downloaded to your device.
What show?
That show!
It's a show.
You know, that show!
It's that show, pare.
Oh, that show. Oh. Yeah, that show's cool. We talk about
What does this look like?
vagina and
Like a double blowjob.
vagina.
Who is the asshole that decided to shave this shit off the entire planet?
Sometimes we like to talk about
It's like when you guys like high-fiving on a girl and then you're doing her in the butt and you're doing her in the mouth. High five, bro.
vagina. Vaginas.
And you're jacking off really intensely, but like massaging your balls and shit.
I'm not talking about a Chewbacca, man. I'm just talking about a nice little,
Vaginas.
And don't miss that spot, like the Cowper's gland. It's like in between your balls and your asshole. But not me, because I'm a guy.
Yeah, that's a cool show. You should watch it. I think we're on Tuesday.
Take a little sunshine, drop a little rainbow, mix in a smile, and stay for a while. Sabrina's kitchen, what you waiting for? Sabrina's kitchen, always room for one more. Sabrina's kitchen, cooking up a storm. Sabrina's kitchen, always something new. Sabrina's kitchen, tables waiting for you.
Hi. They say nothing in this world is free, and for the most part, that's true. But here at NMF Network, all shows are indeed 100% free. And as an added feature, you have the option to subscribe to all your favorite programs, also at no charge. Why should you subscribe? By subscribing, you no longer have the hassle of delays when you stream the program. You also don't need to keep checking our site to see if your favorite programs are up, because they'll automatically be uploaded to your device as soon as it's available. Here's how to do it. For those people with Apple mobile devices, first you need to download the podcast app. Once you download the podcast app, open it, and you should be taken to the featured page. Now, you look for the store button. Hit the store button, and after doing that, hit the search button. Put your cursor on it and type New Media Factory. All our shows should automatically appear. Pick your favorite or favorites, open it, and hit subscribe. And that's it, you're done. Congratulations and welcome to the New Media Factory family. Tell me, what is football for you?
Wow. Football, that's my livelihood. That's my life. My life revolves around sport. That's it. I mean, everything is there. If it's not football, it's nothing else.
All right, welcome back. We had a sofa problem, but we're back on the program. Phil and
Change the
James.
shirt as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. I changed the shirt. And is this the one that you guys are giving
Yeah, this
away
is
as
the one
well?
I'm giving away, so.
So, pinawisan pa ni Phil Younghusband.
Sorry, girls. We couldn't show Phil taking off his shirt and dress because he might get into a case, you know what I'm saying, of sexual harassment. And never mind, let's not get into that.
Yeah, we don't want that again. We don't want that again. We don't want that.
We're done with that. So, yeah, welcome back to the finale of the show, 13th episode of Hands On. Yeah, let's get back into it. I'm interested in when you guys came in 2005, right? Obviously, it was things weren't great yet for the national team, and then there was that amazing run that you guys had in 2010. I don't think a lot of people know this, and I like to tell this story a lot because when I heard it, I was pretty shocked that I heard that you were actually pretty sick on the day.
Oh yeah, food poisoning.
You had food poisoning the night before.
The Vietnam game.
Yeah, the Vietnam game.
The night before, yeah, I didn't sleep that whole night before the Vietnam game, so I was just puking in the toilet. And then, and then I played the game, and then
scored a goal.
I scored the goal, and then I'm like, coach, can I come off? Because I was feeling sick, and then everyone's celebrating, and I felt terrible, so I was in the sink, throwing up again, while everyone was celebrating. I think Rivalries has a video of us in the changing room celebrating, but you see me in the background, like still throwing up in the sink.
I remember that we were all the guys on the field were quite tired. We were all in the changing room. We're still still settling in the result, couldn't believe it. And then you have some of the other players who still had energy. They threw ice on the floor in the change room, did Klinsmans on the floor, and then you just look over and you see Phil sitting on the toilet with his head in there.
Question. Do you remember what you ate? Because that could have been planted also.
Yeah, I know we were staying at the Sheraton.
Doesn't matter where you're staying, man. Where's a slinky...
To be fair, you get a lot of food poisoning on
food
trips.
poisoning in Bacolod as well.
You might be at the Target,
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I'm not sure what I ate the night before. I'm sure it wasn't Esau though.
Actually, I'll grab one.
It was. I wasn't feeling well the whole of the game, so. But I was glad I got through it. And sometimes playing takes your mind off that sort of thing, and sometimes it's more psychological than anything.
But you know what, I'm telling you, Phil, you gotta be careful. I'm telling you now, Dan is watching and the staff, Bracky, leading and all that. Because you're really a target, just like what James said. Because you're the top striker of the Philippines. It happens. You know, even the youth, what more than seniors? Because, betting, gambling in the seniors, we're talking about millions, man, US dollars. I was involved in one. Not involved, I mean, what's the word? Not involved.
You fessed
my
up.
team was there. Because if you...
Against you?
Yeah.
So they committed
To sell.
To sell, okay.
For my boys to sell. I was the coach of the first Azkals, first Tiger Cup. The Suzuki Cup now was a Tiger Cup.
Yeah.
I was the coach of the first one in Singapore. And there were a lot of things that are happening. And I'm not mentioning more the players, but I know that some players were bought here because it's a big bet. Yeah. We had a friend, a Singaporean, after a game against Malaysia. First half we were down only 1-0. Second half became 7. Okay? And there were 2 goals that I saw that should have been After I gave the team a bowling out. I just lacked to slap the jacket of the Philippine flag in all their faces, right? And the other guys who are watching, you know who you are. Well, going back to the hotel, I told the staff and the other coaches that I'm not going back to the hotel because I might just do something I might regret later. So we went out for dinner, then went to a karaoke bar or whatever. I was just sitting in a corner, drinking my beer. The Singaporean friend comes in. His uncle is a bookie. And he said, "Hey Hans, don't feel so bad. The game I think was 6 or 5:30 somewhere, first game before Thailand Brunei game, I think." And he said, 1 p.m. he knew the score was 7-0.
Exactly that score.
Exactly. Plus minus, there's none. Exactly.
It's horrible.
So you guys will be careful because you're a target. Because they will come up to you. Okay? We had a foreign coach years ago also. People were so believed with him. Coach Dolfo of the Archers.
Yeah.
Against Indonesia, it's unheard of back then, in the 70s, I think, early 80s. First half, Philippines ahead, 1-0. Second half, the guy who scored, the one who was playing very well, was
taken off.
Then we found out that before they even landed in that country, I forgot what country they were in, there's an envelope already waiting for him. I was involved also with the youth Asian Coke Cup under 17s. I met the people, the syndicate people. I thought they were nice people, but they were the middleman, Filipina, who could speak Thai, who could speak Malay. And the ones who are betting are usually the Chinese, Indonesians against Malaysian and Chinese. Big bets. Big bets, 250,000 US. And I'm talking about what, 80s, 90s?
That's huge.
What more now? And that's on the youth.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you guys, you better watch out. It's scaring you, Phil, but I'm telling you, because you'll be getting so many times food poisoning. You'll never know.
Yeah.
It happens. It can happen, you know. It can happen. Oh, anybody can. cell phones are so easy to steal. What more food you can just, you know?
The reason why I like to bring that story up a lot, is because I meet people, they know that I work in the football industry, and they'll ask me about, si Phil Younghusband, magaling ba talaga yan? They'll ask me. And sometimes I get offended, that people will shortchange your footballing skills just because they see you on a billboard, or they see you guys on commercials and stuff like that. And I always like to tell them and feed them that story that, this guy was really sick the night before. He played his heart out for the country, and people like to shortchange you guys. How does that make you guys feel whenever people do that?
If you know about it at all.
Yeah, if you know about it.
Yeah.
It's better that they don't say
Yeah, when you don't know, it hurt you.
Yeah, exactly. But do you guys ever experience any of that? People just because you
doubting us? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you always have you always have your doubters, and I mean, no matter what heights you reach, no matter what you do, you're always going to have your doubters. I mean, even Roger Federer, he wins all these Grand Slams. Now they doubt him all the time. David Beckham, whoever you are, no matter, there's always people trying to bring you down and trying to doubt you. Maybe they're fans of others, or maybe they just don't want to see you succeed. And for me, one thing, it's important you hang around and stay with the people who are positive, because then they're there to praise you and give you confidence. And so you try not to listen to those people. But I just make sure I hang around with friends and family that I know is going to back me, and even when someone said something bad, I know they're going to say something good to reverse that. And in my mind, I think about that good thing rather than the bad thing. So you do have your doubters, but I think, as you say, I think the talking on the pitch,
right,
doing it on the pitch, and although I'm a striker, all I can do is score goals. I mean, my record for international is 35 in 50-something games.
So tell them that stat.
I mean, on the list I'm proud of that list with you had Pele, Batistuta.
Right.
So to be on that list, my international record speaks for itself, and my local record speaks for itself. So I mean, as long as I'm scoring goals, I'm okay. So.
Yeah, I love it personally. I love it because I feel when you have people going against you, it shows that they may be threatened, or they want you to not succeed. So it shows you're succeeding, and I like to say you'd like to use it as a fuel to make me progress and make me want to do better.
All right. You guys ever there was a time when the UFL had already started, and you guys had not come in, and you guys hadn't had a club yet. You guys were still representing the country at the time. Was there ever a worry that you might not get a chance, because there was no guarantees that the UFL was going to grow?
Yeah,
right? There was no guarantees. Was there a worry that you guys would not be able to
By
play?
that time, we were earning our salary through coaching. We were earning, we were living through our coaching and the Younghusband Football Academy.
Right.
But at that time, I mean, there's so much going on. Before the Suzuki Cup, we were training 3 or 4 months before it.
Right.
So we were too busy training to think about anything else, or where the next salary will come in, or thinking about how to live or things like that. So we were just concentrating on playing and training and enjoying ourselves. And that's the one thing, like, we miss those days where there was no people watching. You could just have fun and play with your friends, and it was all about that. But that's what we were thinking about at that time. We were just thinking about playing, and we were training 3 or 4 times a week. So we were still training quite often, to stay in good shape. So there was never a point we were thinking about a club at the time.
Foreign clubs, they ever come out and try to pick you guys up? I mean, obviously you guys are playing for Loyola now, but I mean, there's a lot of big leagues, Indonesia, Thailand.
Just,
in the area.
Just had an offer from Indonesia recently. Had one after the Suzuki Cup as well. Had Singapore as well. There's a few clubs after.
Mostly Southeast Asia countries.
Yeah, there's a few clubs interested, but we still feel we have a lot more to do in the Philippines, and we feel like this is our.
We have too many friends and family here, like you guys. So.
It's very hard to leave the Philippines.
It is. It's true.
There's something about the Philippines.
There's something really, because like me, I'm a permanent resident here, but after my UAP season, I'm going to go full blast of change. I would relinquishing my citizenship to become Filipino.
About time, man.
I know, because a lot of people are so pissed off with me. What are you talking about? You're not Indonesian, you're Filipino. No, because of what I said. I took the AFC match commissionership, and my ID is for Indonesia. And I told the head, the coordinator, I say, hey, right, I'm representing the Philippines. Yes, Hans, but your passport's Indonesian. So professionally, I'd really do that. And besides, I think I'm the only one of the Smith siblings that's married to a Filipina. I mean, my youngest brother, who passed away a few years ago, is married to a Filipina, but they're both American citizens already. So I just want to change, and I'm going to go through Congress and the Senate. So no more questions. What's the connections for, I got a lot of friends in Senate and Congress. Truthfully, so.
How much has it changed the setup in the national team? Since 2010, there's been a lot more, recruitment of.
We've seen players come, players go.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
I think Coach Wise, I was watching the episode earlier, and he was like, he saw some good players, he saw some bad players.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of transition, and it's funny because at Chelsea also we were there before Roman was there, and we were there after he was there, so we saw the transition. So,
Abramovich,
yeah, Roman Abramovich. So. But for the national team, I mean, it's obviously it's moved forward. It's got better.
It's harder to get into the team. It's no player's spot is you can't walk into the team.
Right.
Azkals.
Yeah. Now you have to make sure you're in the best condition you can be to get in the side, and if you're not, the competition, someone's going to take your place. I mean, and like with the new coach coming in, there's no guarantees who's going to play.
I was just about to ask you guys about that.
So I mean, the transition, obviously the level's a lot higher. With facilities are slowly getting there. Things are slowly improving, but it does take time. But the transition's been good, and it's been something that we everyone's wanted.
You guys ever have to deal with anybody who comes in from like Europe and he thinks he's a big shot, comes in here, and sort of looks down on people?
No, be honest, Bill. Be honest.
Is anyone coming in thinking they're big time?
You.
Me.
Do you guys get any ego problems?
Shocky's really humble and nice. Yeah. Wolfie was really humble and nice.
No one really. No.
Dennis and Jerry, they're nice. I'm trying to think who's.
Okay, this one you cannot say nice. Jason. It's De Jong.
Yeah, De Jong. I know. Actually, Jason's first competition, we weren't there. We didn't play. So obviously he was in the team when we weren't there. So we don't know what he was like when he first joined.
Very ambitious kid. And,
Jason is an ass. I'll tell you, he's an ass. You know why? We didn't know each other yet at the time, right? But when he found out I was also half Dutch, so LA Galaxy halftime, or was it after the game? Coach, did you see that? I got David Beckham.
The one I always remember is where he hacked down Robbie Keane.
Oh yeah.
And Robbie Keane got really angry, and Jason was all apologetic. I was laughing. He's a funny kid, and
I told Jason. I told Jason honestly. I told him a while before. I said, Jason, I think when you gave birth, your mom was standing up, and the doctor, you slipped and you hit your head on the operating room floor.
When he took out Robbie Keane, we were like, oh, typical Jason right there.
That's the only reason he wanted to come on. That's his claim to fame.
That's Jason's style of saying, people remember me.
So no ego problems then. I mean, that's good to hear.
Jason used to be a winger, didn't he?
Yeah.
When he first joined. So before it was like, did you see my skill? Did you see my trick? Now he comes off, did you see my tackle? Did you see my tackle?
Ego-wise, I think that's the one thing. Management and the coach, they do a great job at. They do well at managing players' egos. They make sure no players think they're better than everyone, think they're bigger than the team. They're good at controlling everyone.
You know what I liked was what Dan did with you guys. He didn't do it right away. I think he did it when the Azkals were rebuilding. When he had a contest for you guys who could sing the national anthem better, right?
Yeah, my team won.
Yeah.
That's the
That was good.
That's the thing that I like. What Dan was that Dan's idea?
Yeah, that was. Well, we were getting a lot of. I think we were getting against Indonesia in the semi-final.
Right.
Obviously, Gonzalez is Uruguayan, isn't he?
Yes.
And they were saying he was singing their national anthem. So it was about time we all learned.
Either he was or he was just lip syncing.
Yeah. We didn't know what he was saying.
I'd like to bring this up again. Our good friend Arnold Clavio. You know that after you know about this.
Yes.
He talked about you guys you're not Filipinos, you're pretending to be Filipinos and all that shit. Okay, I guested in another show, another podcast show. I just forgot it was a GMA show. It wasn't part of the script, but I asked the producer to come up with the script because I wanted to say something about the racist remarks that he did, which I did. And I challenged him on camera, straight out. First time I could look at the camera straight and told him, I want me to slap you, the birth of my children on your face. I was saying this and that. That portion was never shown. Of course, I was given the runaround about excuses, right? But that's okay. It's not a producer's problem, because I found out it was a Jimmy. I forgot it was Jimmy.
Yeah.
How can I be so stupid when I guessed in that show so many times, and there's a fucking big Jimmy in the building, right? And I forgot all about it because I was so pissed. Speaking of the races, I mean, did you guys ever? I mean, you don't look the typical Filipino, so I don't know if you were ever given any racial slurs when you were there in England.
Loads of times.
You know that?
Loads of times in school, like, I think obviously they heard we played football for Chelsea, so we had a lot of older kids call us this, call us that, and obviously I don't.
Just because they knew you were half Filipino.
Yeah.
But you guys don't look. You know what I'm saying? You're a mestizo.
Yeah.
But I don't think we've. Well, here they call me white boy.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I call my white sister the white boy.
In England, they call me a chinky, so I don't know where I fit in. So, in school, I mean, we actually sometimes talk about it. To the other players? Did you get any racial abuse when you were younger, and things like that? And they've got some good stories. Like some kids would sing songs about them. Like, wow. Yeah, I think Simon. I won't say anything. It's not my responsibility to say about the other players, but I mean, if we had like a little argument with someone in the playground or something, that would be their first thing against us. They would say something about us being Asian and something.
Or if you had a fight with a teammate, not a good friend teammate, but in England, if you had a fight with on the field with a player. Right,
yeah, they'd use the race card. They'd go straight to the race card.
I don't know if you knew this, but since the 80s, 83, I started going to the Gotha Cup. The unofficial FIFA Youth World Cup. So many countries. The many times I've been there, I can't anymore count how many times we've gotten racial abuse. But one time, when after that it's a English club, British club, 12 and under, but we creamed them, a bunch of scrap players, okay, these kids couldn't afford. We beat the club and we saw these kids play. I think it was even 10 unders, I think. Oh man, it's a known club. It's a known club. They have a first division or second division club. They have a program like Chelsea has, everybody has. And we creamed them, we beat them 2-0. Anyway, championship in Denmark, I think. And the coaches started saying, young coaches, not even mid-20s, right? And then they were calling our players something like brown monkeys or something like that. And our coach, who's my coach also in Sobel, is half Thai. His mom is Thai. Okay, so that's Philippine. After the game, the guy who said this, went to shake hands, my coach did the right thing. Slugged him right there. Punched him out. Punched him out. So of course, Thomas Ozano got so mad in the evening with the coaches meeting, telling us we shouldn't be doing this. I said, Thomas, anybody says something, I'll do the same. Maybe I won't hit him in the face. I'll just maybe kick him in the balls or something, make it permanent. And then the coaches came in. So when the coach came in, everybody said, they're there. So we were ready. Then Thomas said, don't anybody do anything. Don't anybody do anything. They came to apologize because there was a couple, Filipina and married to a Danish, who was going to report. Because remember, in FIFA, racists can give you a life ban.
Yeah.
Okay. But after that year, every year, they were so nice. They were so nice. But they had better, nicer young TTs. Right. But that's a different story. What you saw for Mo. Okay, but you know what I'm saying. With Arclavio.
That must be frustrating then, right? I mean, obviously, when you were living in England, you guys had to deal with that, and then you come over here, and then people are sort of alienating you in the same manner. Yeah. That must be difficult.
Yeah, I think it's hard to take.
Yeah.
It's hard to take. Like even now, the fact people say we're not Filipino, we're not from this country. I mean, what makes someone Filipino these days? Is it a passport? Is it where you grew up? Is it what language you speak? Is it where you went to school? Is it where you moved to? I don't know these days.
You know what I think?
We think we're Filipino.
Racists comes from uneducated assholes and bitches. People who don't understand.
Right.
I mean, it's the way you look at life. I would blame the parents. I would blame the parents. Because how can kids be talking like this?
Yeah.
If
They must have picked it up somewhere.
at home.
Right.
Yes, obviously, of course.
They have had to. I mean, because if you put a bunch of kids who hadn't learned anything like this from different ethnicities, they'll play and they'll get along, right? Until some sort of conditioning happens, then they won't change, right?
You know, I don't know how many times I've got into a fight, man, with a Brazilian team, under 17, under 19 team. I want to pick them up one by one, me alone. I was already on my way to Timbuktu, and two girls came waking me up. Coach. Coach Iñaki cannot because he's got a heart condition, so I was the only one. I came about, and guess what? It was not the real Brazilian, it's a Korean Brazilian who was such a freaking asshole.
Yeah.
So we saw him in the Helsinki Cup in Finland. Then they were also in the Gotha Cup. I remember it clearly. There were team club picture taking, right? Official. And we were there ahead, and some of the coaches told me, Coach, they're there. It's a known club in Brazil. I can't remember. Anyway, the founder is very well known in Brazil, old man. And we're friends with him, he knows. And he saw the Brazil, he's old, walking really slow, but all the kids. These kids are from the slums. Just like Tawichi. You heard of the Tawichi program in Bolivia? Street Children's.
I know the Street Children Brazil program.
Yes,
yeah.
okay. Shit, I can't forget. I'll get the name of the club. Anyway, Sao Paulo.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, these are kids like from Tondo.
Yeah.
So uneducated. Yeah? And when the club declares when the old man came on the bus, when we saw each other, we hugged each other, right? And say, hello, how are you? Because we've been seeing each other almost every year. So when the guys saw that, and then we saw that team in the one corner staying. This Korean was making the cuento. He was the banker at the time. In Helsinki at 1 a.m. 1 a.m. His fucking dark glasses in the fucking school inside, right? So he must be really asshole when he's back home. So when I saw that, when he was there, I just pulled up like this, maybe about 40, 50 meters away. I just went like that. So all of them looked. I just went like that. They all just went. And I have to tell the coaches, in the Philippines, for 1 peso, or you spit at somebody's foot and they didn't even hit the shoe, somebody can die. I said, don't treat the Filipinos like, like nothing. I said, Philippines got a very proud history also. So I'm saying, that's why if I hear, and I'm a foreigner, and I hear Filipinos talking bad about other Filipinos, that takes the cake for me. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm gonna fucking raise it again. That guy from Jing.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and that's why when we played last week, was it last week? When our player Lawrence got a red card after the game.
Yeah.
Of course, I told the UFL, it's he says, he said. But I know the player. He will not react that way because the referee said, get off here, stupid Negro, or something like that. Of course.
To the referee. Yeah.
The referee
Said it to...
Yeah, the referee said it
to Lawrence. I mean, Lawrence was with you guys the first year.
Yeah.
And I know the guy. He comes to me for his problems and all that. He tells me his history and all that. So until now, they haven't done anything about it. Like last night, we had a meeting, technical committee. I said, I'm asking for it now. As a technical director of Green Arches, I'm asking what happened.
Nothing.
What happened? Is that 50-game suspension of the 2 referees for show? I think there are a lot of other referees should be suspended. Because, come on, the football's going better. Management's getting there. Organization's getting there. But the referees, officiating, still here. We need to raise. We need to put up the bar higher for these referees.
Problem is, we'll end up with no more referees.
Exactly.
Playing games.
We're gonna run out.
I've said last night, and I'll say here on the show, you have to be like Duterte, Mayor Duterte of Davao. You need the political will to do it. If you don't have, then nothing's gonna happen. Because these guys will hold the UFL and every other league in the Philippines hostage. Because they know they're the only group, they're the only ones.
Yeah.
I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'll keep on saying it until it happens. If all the clubs, like in the UFL alone, we're 21 clubs. If we all just minimum of adopting one person, former football player who cannot play but wants to be involved in football, and have this group taught, they get officiating education, refereeing education. We have our own group. But there's so much talk about this and that and that. So what's this, a syndicate? There's a syndicate going on. Why? Because the others don't want the other new referees come up because they will lose assignments, meaning they lose this. I'm for the referees. I was one of the first, if not the first one, to tell the UFA, the UFL, to give the referees a better tariff. And they get best pay in the UFL. But for them to hold a league hostage, you know what I'm saying? Because they're the only group, I think that's wrong.
Yeah.
And professionalism, I think, should be put in place strongly.
Yeah.
Strongly. I mean, the NCRFA has got to do something about it. PFF maybe has got to do something about it because it's, you know, the word sayang.
Yeah.
Everything's going. But what I'm afraid of is the kids. These guys are officiating kids too. So if a coach is teaching...
if they think that's right.
Yes,
they're gonna
exactly.
learn that, yeah.
So the coaches who know their worth of coaching and teaching the kids are teaching the kids the rules. Then suddenly there's the referee here saying something else. Of course, the kid gets worried.
Yeah.
You know, I remember years ago again. There's this referee, 12 and under. He'd give a red card and his face wrong and
You give a red card to a
12-year-olds. I said, what are you doing? You are supposed to be helping us educate the kids. We coaches are teaching the kids, and you go out like this and treat like this. You're a dad, aren't you? You're a grandfather, I said. You know, you're a lolo already, and you're treating kids like this. You don't show your strength like this to kids. I said, ang tapang mo because bata. You know, you're so tough because you're kids. Try doing that to the senior level and see what happens. You know, well, at least he listened after it. But what I'm saying is, we need more football education in every aspect. I'm not saying that the coaching's there. I'm not saying the play's there. It's getting there. I can see the plays.
Yeah.
It's getting stronger. It's getting faster. It's getting more physical. You know, that's why and the fields are getting better. Because even before you guys came, I don't know, you heard about it from Chiefy and the other guys. They train here in the Philippines. When they go abroad for international, they can't fucking control the ball because the field is so nice.
They used to leave their foot up like this.
So it goes under.
Well, guys, all first touch is here. Up here, not down here. So even if I was throwing it so hard, everyone's complaining, keep the ball here straight. I did.
But the play is getting so much better in the UFL. I mean, I was there in 2009 when the home games the main games were being played at Nomads.
Yeah.
So it was like 30 people would come out to watch the games. The level was still very low. And at this point, you guys were saying that it's been getting higher and higher. Well, how do you guys feel now at this point in time, at this level that we're playing at? Where are we in the grand scheme of like club football in this region, do you think?
I think developing. I mean,
We're still developing.
Yeah, I mean, even the Premier League, there's still things that need to be improved.
Sure.
Even the Spanish League, I think everywhere. But I think we've got the potential is the highest here. We've got so much potential and so much room for improvement and we know we can actually reach it. That it gives everyone hope and gets everyone excited about it. And I think that's the thing because it is moving. It has moved faster in the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Like imagine if in 10, 15 years, if it continues to move at that rate, how far the league can be. So I think it's exciting and everyone's looking forward to it.
I think Coach Hans would know a little bit more about this. The National League. How far along is that? I mean, like it'll be awesome to be playing home and away games.
That's a big step for football, I think.
It's a big step.
Big step.
But
Get
there's
more
gonna
people.
I foresee a few problems.
Yeah.
I see a few
Just
problems.
a few?
I do.
Just a few?
Yeah. Who's going to be representing the NCR, let's say?
Yeah.
Things like this. What's going to happen to the UFL?
Yeah.
We all know the UFL is not the National League.
I want to be without a job.
Premier. It's the Premier League, of course.
Yeah.
Nobody can dispute that. But when the National League comes out, what they need to do is they have to figure out first who are the teams, who are the players eligible. How long is it going to land?
How many games, structure?
Yes, all of that.
That's it. It's sort of saying like.
How will the UFL fit into that?
Yes,
How will
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Because years ago, every time the national
Who will
league,
referee?
national finals, number one, officiate. That's the biggest one. Anyway, years ago, this is fun. I've said it before. I'm holding my phone because there are questions for Phil and James. Anyway, okay, there will be an NCR Metro Manila elimination, right?
Yeah.
Teams that didn't make it, like the armed forces, let's say, didn't make it. You go to the national finals. Let's say, I'm not pinpointing any unit, all right? Let's just say, for example,
It's a league, right? Not a tournament. It's a league.
It's a league.
It's a league.
But it's just a short thing.
Okay.
Just to call national champions. Region.
So it's a bit like the spot, how the spot
Well, how long's the
championships work. So,
competition?
Huh?
How long is the competition?
A week, 10 days.
Oh, okay.
National. They call it the National League.
Okay.
PFF National Finals.
Okay.
Okay. But the funny thing here, eligibility-wise, you're playing for this team, you're playing for that team, you're playing for another team, okay? My team won. So I have a choice. I can pick out players to represent Metro Manila.
Oh, okay. So even if you're out,
Yes.
you can still get the players.
If you play in the elimination, you can still get.
into the knock.
But my team's out already.
Yes, I can get you, I can get
Okay.
right.
Okay.
But when you get to the national finals, I'll see you playing for your province. I'll see you playing for your province. I'll see you playing for another province. You're still all playing the national finals, but you played in the NCR under your mother team, mother unit. There was nothing about LGBT, and nobody could really, how do you say, fix it up. I'm talking about the old NCRFA, the old PFF.
Right.
There was a big problem there. That's why I opted not to join. This is a farce. I said, this is crazy.
So you'll have players
vague, right?
representing two clubs, in essence.
In the same tournament.
Yeah.
Same tournament. No, because my team lost here, but I come from, let's say, Iloilo. I call the coach. My team's out. Can I play for you guys? Of course. Go ahead. So it's crazy. No, that's a farce. So this is a problem that the PFF will have to deal with and to study. Now that the FIFA money is coming in, from what I heard, it's going to be with FIFA money and all that. We'll see. That's why I'm not surprised when people are commenting, why 2016 pa? How long to the J League?
10 years.
Before and that's why you look at it, the first year, boom, right? They really studied it, 10 years. How long did it take to build a V-Rod Harley? 8 years, 12 years. Anyway, so it needs a lot of planning. I'm not saying that there are a lot of football experts that can do it here. But what I don't understand is why we don't want to get help from outside who are experienced in all of this. Organizing things like this.
Help to get it running.
Yeah, do it properly.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be a shame. You know what? I hate the term, growing pains. Bullshit, man. Like in the UFL, people say.
I've used that a couple times.
Yeah. Growing pains, no, and that's bullshit. No. It's like, but when you learn how to use a bicycle, you fall. Okay? It's okay, it's growing pains. No, it's just painful, but it's not growing pains. If you're gonna, all of us learn, how did you start football? We were taught how to kick the ball or juggle the ball first. You make a mistake, what the coach tells you, growing pains? No, continue. Continue. So, organizing anything, to me, growing pains, no. If you make a mistake, that means you didn't study it well, right? You were taught 1 + 1 equals 2, but you answer 1 + 1 equals 11. It's okay, you're still young. You learn it 1 + 1 equals 2. I don't buy that. I don't believe in that.
Preparation,
of course. Education. So if you're going to organize, that's why I'm not surprised when they said it's 2016. Hopefully 2015. They say hopefully.
Yeah.
But hopefully, personally, I think if they really study it well and get the real experts down in, you got to look at all of this.
Yeah.
It shows you're serious about it.
Yeah.
Definitely, I
They
think.
have to be serious because FIFA's coming in. FIFA's helping it out already. So if they screw up, what will FIFA do? Take their money back or they'll never support again. So here we are again, starting it in the boardroom and ground floor again.
I think the only danger with the thing is, specifically, especially for the UFL, is like everybody's waiting for the National League to come about, and then sort of like the development of the UFL itself is slowed down a little bit because they're anticipating that something else is going to take over, and we're not going to be able to get the fruits of all this labor that we're doing for the UFL. But I personally, even if I do work with the organization, it's like, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that sentiment. I think we have a lot of responsibility to make the UFL as good as possible, get supporters in, create that sort of spectator vibe that we're obviously still lacking a little bit, and then carry that model over into what the National League will be, right?
I just remembered when he was talking. Sorry. You guys were in it. You didn't know. Smart Club, the first one.
Yeah.
You played for
San Beda.
Yeah.
Smart San Beda. Yeah.
I mean, you see, exactly. There were questions. Why were the Younghusbands playing in San Beda, for San Beda? This is the problem. That's not your fault. You just like to play. You're just players. But that's all an organization. So what's going to happen here with the National League and all this? I think they should sit down with UFL and all this.
So what happened with Global? Because there was no qualification, then they went to Leyte.
They played for Leyte.
Yeah.
That also, for me, personally, sorry Dan, but that's wrong also. You see? Things of everybody just wants to play. Everybody wants to represent. Okay, but that's all fine, but let's do it the right way. It's not like anybody's trying to get one over the other.
Yeah.
We're all here for one purpose and one purpose. And our aim is what? To develop football, Philippine football, right? So everybody's got to do it the right way. Because we're opening different doors. We're opening the wrong doors, actually. We're opening door number 2 before we can even open door number 1. So like I said earlier, you got 3 steps, but we're going in shortcut.
Right.
You know what I say to my players when I do training and they don't do what I ask them to do? What the fuck are you, jeepney driver? The jeepney drivers love to cut corners and all that. I mean, that's a joke, I say. But they understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's, I think, the mentality. We should forgo that kind of mentality and do it properly. I mean, yeah, do it the Filipino way, fine. But football, is there such thing as Filipino way, American way, British way? None. It's all the same.
Yeah.
It's all the same, right? It's all the same. It's just how to deal with the different people because they're different mentalities, different cultures. But at the end of the day, it's still the same shit. Same thing. So hopefully, PFF will get together with the FAs, with the FA, with AFC to help out, organize, get some help, and especially with the referees.
Yeah. Hopefully by that time comes around, the supporters will be a little bit more vocal, a little bit more aware of how to support your club.
Yeah, we need to build fan bases.
Yeah. Well,
better, yes.
How do you think is the way to entice more people to come out and watch the games?
I mean, how can people relate to your team? And that's the question. Obviously, if the National League, if you're from Iloilo,
yes.
then
it's easy to get behind them.
It's easy to get behind them, yeah.
Right.
So you have to be able to relate with your team, and right now, obviously, there is no affiliation if you're from a certain part of the Philippines.
I think the closest you come is Green Archers, like the school, LaSalle. So.
Right.
Yeah, but it's a basketball school anyway. Sorry, my boss is saying I might have a job tomorrow.
Yeah, so I mean, well, even the PBA, it's how do you affiliate? I think they have affiliations with towns, don't they? The PBA.
No.
I think in the newspaper it says like Pasig something.
No.
Really?
No, there's no.
No. This is what like what the Archers do. We have in our program outreach programs and all of this, doing clinics somewhere else. This is one way of, like you say, relating to the club, because you need to go and make your fan base.
Yeah.
If you're a club and you don't do anything,
The groundwork. You
you don't do anything, you'll have the fans. The only fans that you're going to have are the relatives of your players.
Yeah, true.
Right? But if you go out, and you get a lot more fans.
Yeah.
You come out.
I think that's one of the issues that what the UFL is trying to avoid in following the model of PBA would be like everything is franchises in terms of like companies.
Yeah.
And then if the contract is up, and then there will be a different a brand. And then how do you get on board with that brand?
But you still have the franchise. It just needs to come from an area.
Right.
Like LA Galaxy, if you're from LA.
Right. You just said, exactly. There's none of that as of the moment.
Yeah.
But I hear rumblings that like there will be home stadiums for UFL clubs.
I hope I am still alive to see that.
Me too. It'd be good if I tell you. I'm sure, like you go to Manchester, and I'm sure the governments,
Right.
you know, the Manchester local government support Manchester. You know,
Correct.
or in Spain, Madrid, the Madrid
Yes,
government
yes.
support the teams within Madrid.
You
It'd
know,
be good to see local governments back that. It doesn't have to be financial, but just back them and bring in crowds and.
Manila Jeepney's got.
we've tried. No, that's just show.
What?
That's just show.
Really?
That's bullshit. Anyway, what I'm saying is, we've tried this decades ago. But it's so hard to ask the local politicians.
Yeah.
They want a lot more for that little thing they will want to give.
Yeah.
You know, it's this, and this. A little bit. I mean, what's this? I mean, they want to get more than less
Yeah.
they give. Very hard. We've tried this.
Yeah.
We've talked about this. I mean, people in Philippine football, including me, I was there, that we've been trying to, oh my God, in the 80s. We've tried. It's so hard to get somebody, a politician, because here,
So how do we change it? Is there any way, or is it we find that
if the
is it
political
better?
system in the Philippines changes, maybe then.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way I see it as well. I mean,
Because
it's
politicians
gotta
here,
be cities, right? It's gotta
well,
be
the
cities.
politicians here, they don't want to get away from their job, meaning keeping their political position. They go to football or whatever. It's going to be, it's like they're going to veer away
Yeah.
a little bit from their, you know, knowing that football is a big thing now.
Yeah.
So their political ambitions and all this might veer away a little bit. Because basketball, easy. Here, here's 50,000. Put up a tournament here in the barangay and all that.
Yeah.
Football, you need the field. They'll ask, how much is it to make a
It's a
field?
bigger field, isn't it?
Yeah.
How much to maintain the field?
Security as well.
If we can have every barangay or every municipality just get one freaking football field, I think we've got 75% of our job done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because a lot more kids are playing. Because there are a lot of kids playing now football. In the
Yeah.
streets
There
everywhere.
was one team in America, I was reading in the book Soccernomics, they had the town, they all wanted some entertainment in the town, there was nothing entertainment. So they asked the government, what entertainment are you doing?
Yeah.
They said, we can raise the taxes and we'll make an American football team.
All right.
So they were like, everyone voted yes.
That was
Because I'm getting
Texas.
my money's worth, I'm paying my taxes, but I get to see this, watch this team. So, was it Texas?
I think it's Texas. They made the Superdome.
Okay, they made the
Oh, yeah?
Superdome.
I
Based
think
on,
so, yeah.
they just raised the taxes and then that money, they built the dome and built a team.
It was all entertainment. They had the football team, but they also, because they built the stadium, the town built the stadium, they could bring in like entertainment acts, like concerts
Nice.
and everything.
Here?
So,
I doubt.
Oh, but that's a
American.
suggestion, though, right? It's a suggestion. It's
Is
throwing
everyone
it out
paying their
there.
taxes?
that's why we have to influence the young kids. Like they'll be the ones in charge. That hopefully
Yeah.
they might be politicians and love football
Yeah.
and want to put football in their towns,
Hopefully.
in
Yeah.
their barangays. So.
I mean, you guys are very busy coaching as well. I mean, aside from playing for Loyola Morocco Sparks, you represent the national team. You guys are coaching.
Yeah.
What else is there that you guys are up to on a regular day basis?
Being guardians to our little sister.
Oh, yeah.
So we're learning, we're growing up fast, learning how to look after a
What
12-year-old.
grade is she in now?
She's 12, so grade 8, grade 7? Grade 7.
12?
7.
Yeah.
7,
So you
yeah,
guys
grade
cooking
7.
and stuff like that.
No, she got caught in K-12.
Yeah, she got
No,
caught.
she should be, no. Because in Sobel, I saw some kids in high school uniform and said, how old are you? 11. What year are you in? Grade 8. What? So your sister must be grade 8 maybe.
She's grade 8. She's grade 8.
She's grade 8.
Grade 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's try.
Everyone's getting young.
Not keeping track there.
I've been called into the school about 100 times, but
Don't even know what grade she's in. Grade 8.
see,
she's
that's what I'm
grade
saying, they're growing up so fast.
Nah, well, you know, we people have no choice. We get no choice when we take care of other people. Like, I wasn't ready to get married. Suddenly, I became a parent. No choice. You just get onto it, you know. And if you look at it, the positive, you know, look at it positively, you have more fun.
Yeah,
If you think of it as a problem, then you're dead.
yeah.
You know, like I always say in my talks, if you, which you can relate to what you are going through now, you guys. You know, if you think of your job as work and your work as a job, you're not gonna last.
Yeah, you gotta enjoy
Right?
it.
You gotta absorb it. You gotta love it, no matter what. You gotta love it, and it's just like going to the pool for the first
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Just throw
Just
yourself
go
in the
for it.
pool
Jump
and
in.
get all the water in you.
Yeah, the more you think about it, the less it's gonna happen.
Exactly, because the more you panic, when you panic, you're gonna sink and drown.
Right.
But anyway, it's true. When you drown, you got no more problems. You're dead.
It's horrible advice. We've got a lot of questions coming in from Twitter. We should get to them. We don't have much time on the show. Let's get started, shall we? Jexes? I don't even know how to say that. Do you guys have any pre-game rituals?
I always put my left things on first. So I put my left sock on first, then my right, then my left boot on, then my right, then my left shin pad, then my right shin pad.
So when you put your shorts in, you put your left leg first.
No, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Now you gotta think about it.
I pray before every game. So they're my rituals.
Me, I like to be the last one to start to get ready. I think everyone's so excited to play, they get ready too early, but I just like to relax and chill.
Listen to music or anything like that?
Yeah, listen to music before the game.
Is it because you get nervous?
No matter what game, coach, I'm always nervous, no matter what game.
That's why. When you said that, I thought of that right away. That you wanted to be the last because if you go with the flow, your nerves will get to you. When you're the last, everybody's gone and you're just there.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Your own
Calma.
You know? Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Okay.
I always like to shake everyone's hand. Everyone's, even the water boy, or before I go out. If I miss someone out, I have to make sure I get them. So before I go out.
Just a superstition thing? Just make you feel better?
Just superstitious.
Are you guys religious or not?
Yes. Yeah, we're Catholics.
Roman Catholics.
Yeah,
All right.
Roman Catholics.
We have a water boy.
Well, the people who
I think you waited too long to get ready for a game, man.
We have, just picture the water boy.
I think we went through this a little bit a while ago. What do you think we need to do to increase the football interest in the country?
I think,
winning.
National team success, grassroots programs, the league, those year 3 things, and then they should follow.
Yeah, the Challenge Cup is a big one this year. I think.
How pumped are you guys for that?
Very pumped. I think though, like other players, like probably coming towards the end. I don't want to say end of their careers, but they'll be because national teams there's like every big tournament every 2 or 4 years. It's not like local tournaments where there's where you have regular seasons each year. So some players, this is a big one for them and a big one for us. So.
Coming to that, what you said, there are a lot of questions that came in. I think they want to know. The people also want to know, and I want to know. Jing wants to know. What's your take on this Coach Dooley? Okay. The only thing that's not final is signature.
Yeah. Maybe like how long?
He arrives today, I think.
I think he is here. I think he is here. Yeah.
Oh, you seen him?
No, I saw tweets that he's here already. Okay. Working out some of the.
Yeah, I know. He called me. He says coming over.
So what's up, huh?
What's up, yo?
Yeah. So
what do you guys think? I mean, I saw you guys in one interview. I don't know what show. They asked you about with Michael leaving and new coach coming. I think James was saying that you wanted to see more of attack from the back to. Was it you or Phil who said that?
I said I wanted to see. Yeah, I mean.
Organized.
I said I wanted to see. James said more detail. I said I wanted to see someone who was hungry and eager to learn, and someone who is patient and understands the culture of the Philippines.
Yes,
Yeah.
Asian football.
We're not saying these things like it's not saying our coach Michael Wise didn't have these. He had these as well. I think we just want like someone who knows what it's like here, so it's easy to settle in already. I always say it's always important to know what you're getting yourself into, rather than it being a big shock and you have to adjust. Because I do believe time is against us.
But tactically, you mentioned something about that. You'd like to see a transition where it comes from the back line, bring up.
I think I mentioned because I mentioned the way Brendan Rodgers come in. Right, you never see a Liverpool goalkeeper kick the ball long now. He was always trying to play out, and they split the defence, and they have the midfield and they find ways to get out, and they always play forward.
Possession ball.
Yeah, it's possession, but it's forward.
Yes.
It's never backwards or crab passes. But it's built up and it's forward, but there's thought to it. So I think that's what I said in terms of tactically, but. I think it's interesting, we talk about it and we say, obviously if you're playing under coach Michael Wise and you're starting nearly all the games, you don't really want to change, do you? You're playing and you're happy, you know? But if you're someone who's sort of on the fringes or not really getting a chance, then you're probably happy to see a new coach come in. So I think all players have different mindsets and different views. I'm quite excited to have the new coach. Obviously, as I said, we got on well with Coach Wise and we'll miss him, but we're quite excited to see the views and the opinions and see what he has to bring new. Maybe he'll bring in something completely new. Maybe he will bring in something completely the same. We don't know.
Hopefully something that's not impossible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
His CV is very impressive as well. Worked under Jurgen Klinsmann with the US national team and his playing career as well. So.
And I think he was the head coach of the under-21s.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Assistant, maybe assistant.
US under-21s. Well, Philippines is a young football nation. Maybe it's about also, I think, will come hand in hand with the new coach that comes in. Yeah. I agree with you, James. Hungry. They got to be hungry and know the culture. Like I said in the previous shows, with regards to foreigners, I'm talking about foreign coaches, foreign players. I'm warning you again. No, not warning. Let's say notice.
Yeah.
Football's a culture in itself. Yeah. But Philippines has its own culture. So there were coaches passed for the national side, which I have no respect for. Okay, because they think they come from Europe or whatever country. They come from Philippines. Philippine football's nothing, and they come up saying stuff like for example, okay, so we don't hear the Philippines. Like when we beat Vietnam, I saw the next day picture in the newspaper, the coach grabbing the goalkeeper. Because I think your goal, or was it, he had it but it slipped in? Who shot that goal? Half time, the coach, you didn't see that?
It might have been Chris Greenwich or his shoulder.
Did you see that picture?
No, I didn't see that.
You didn't see it?
The Vietnam coach.
The Vietnamese coach, the one who didn't want to shake Simon's hand.
Yeah.
Fucking asshole. The Portuguese, right? It was clear. I'm surprised you didn't see it.
Didn't see the newspaper.
It should have been the next day. He was about to kneeling in front of the bench and grabbing the neck of the goalkeeper. I said, this guy's gonna die here in Vietnam before he leaves the country. You don't do that. That's the thing I'm saying. Respect.
Yeah.
We should be all the other professionals, like even Mourinho. They call him an asshole because of the way he talks, but he speaks his mind.
Yeah.
He's a coach, so he speaks his mind. But he never, insulted. The British way when he was there at Chelsea. Or with Real, was it Real?
Yeah. Or Inter.
No?
Yeah. I think I was watching the Coach Wise interview, and he's going to have to understand he won't get the aluminium goals, the goals that roll over the equipment. He's not going to get the best fields in. Yeah. He's not going to get lush grass. He's going to have to make do and have to adjust, and and that's one thing. Maybe he'll fit in perfectly and understand it, but. Maybe he won't, we'll have
I've told him that. I mean, I've had a couple of one-on-ones with him in his house over a few bottles. Okay. It has to be a few bottles. Oh, that's not German. Anyway, we talked, and I told him also, since I've been here for so long, I said, exactly what you just said. And I said, you gotta understand, there's a lot of people who want to come in because of the glory that your team brought in to the Philippines, and so everybody wants to join the bandwagon, and every Tom, Dick, and Harry thinks they fucking know football. They're the football gurus. Out of the blue, you won't believe, man. Before I would always comment.
Right.
And then when we beat Vietnam, oh my golly, it's like 50% of the population knows football already. And the comments were so outrageous. I couldn't fucking want to comment unless there's something really stupid. Yeah. I will comment. I finish the thread. I stop the thread because somebody's gotta say another comment. Okay, coach has spoken.
Didn't get time.
Stupid stuff. Where'd you come from, man?
Didn't get time to check that out. We got so drunk after that, after Vietnam, after you guys beat Vietnam. Coco and I got plastered, but nobody else is celebrating, at the time.
Was it the Suzuki Cup? No, when I covered for Active.
Suzuki Cup 2012.
Was it?
Yeah, it was us.
Somebody should have told you when you were in a slump, and I said that game. I don't forget. I said Phil's gonna score.
Myanmar. And then
I forgot what game.
Yeah.
I gave 3. And do you remember this? In Active, I don't remember. I gave 3 predictions. It all came true. And thank you, Direct of Active. He showed us, Arman and I, and Jason Webb. We scored and we jumped like crazy in our fucking suits, you know. I don't wear a suit really.
I think it must have been because Active had
It was
the rights.
Myanmar, it was Myanmar.
I think
It was Suzuki Cup.
Yeah, Suzuki Cup 2012.
First game Thailand, Vietnam, then Myanmar. So the
Yeah,
group
but
stages.
then you were in a slump, you know.
Yeah, 2 games I hadn't scored. That
Yeah,
was
and then you scored a
That's a slump.
Well, I laid it on,
That's a slump.
That's a Phil Younghusband slump.
well, I laid it on the plate for you. And then you just said,
Yeah.
When I said you're gonna score, and you did.
Yeah.
You know what happened? Our next match in Rizal,
Singapore.
yeah, maybe Singapore or
That's right.
I don't know. I went down. Was I working? No, I don't think I was working. I don't remember anymore. If I was wearing a suit, if I was working for PF4. But anyway, I went out to smoke. People were coming up. Coach, how are you, man? What's your prediction now? I said, sorry, I didn't bring my crystal ball. I didn't want to fucking say anything. I mean, maybe a mistake. I'm right here. On TV, don't see you. You can reach me. I'm on the screen live, you know. But I was so happy about that, and I think if they show that, you would see us 3 stupid dorks. Arman, myself, and Jason Webb.
yeah.
We jumped like freaks. Then in the closing credits, the director showed it. I said, I'm gonna get you back.
You know how difficult it is to commentate those games without being biased. You know,
Yeah,
it's,
true.
whenever there's a
No, it's okay. It's easy. We're professional. I'm used to it.
Oh man. In 2010, I don't know if you guys know this, when you guys beat Vietnam, there was a UFL game going on at the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the game stopped because everybody was losing their minds.
Is it in Nomads?
Yeah, Chris
Like,
Greatwich
there's a
scored.
TV there.
Yeah, Greatwich scored, then everybody cheered. The game stopped. The players were like, what's going on? Referees were coming over and saying, what's up?
You know what's nice is the expats and foreigners like me who've been here in the Philippines for so long. We were cheering for the Philippines.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? This is what's nice. It gets my hair standing. You just don't see the Filipinos.
Yeah.
Even in the bars, sports bars, you see blondie blue eyes, cheering, shouting, jumping. I said, joking like, are you Filipino? You know, just want to joke, but that just shows you. That just shows you where we're at.
Yeah.
You know, imagine one win can do.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Right?
One
It's just like
win,
hitting
one
the
win.
jackpot.
It's nuts.
No, but this is a different jackpot. We got to work on it more.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to tell the people, relax on what happens next. Like their friend is Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan.
Yeah, that's March 5, right?
What country is that? is that a Baltic state?
It's European.
European country.
Yeah, but Baltic, you're Russian, no?
Yeah.
Maybe.
actually, like,
Somewhere like
It's,
that.
yeah, it's
I couldn't point them out on a map if you asked me. That's
They don't even ask me to spell.
they sound like they're from the Middle East, but
Yeah, no, I think they're part of.
especially
But they're
because we're playing in
Europe.
Dubai against them.
Yeah, in Dubai.
That's why.
You're playing Dubai.
In Dubai.
Azerbaijan in
Playing
Dubai.
Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Dubai.
Yeah.
Meeting halfway.
They're
Yeah,
what?
so I want to tell the people, relax. We got a new coach. We might not see the same players. You know, it's all up to the coach. But I'm sure Dan Palami would have told the coach, like now, maybe in the car going to the hotel or going to some new places. These are the players. Joking, but that's going to happen.
Choose this team.
Pictures, okay, said he.
Player profiles.
This guy had an ex-girlfriend in showbiz. No. Jokingly.
Go in there.
No, I said I'm going to raise that. Just to make, I just want to see Phil's reaction. But don't worry, Phil. I'm not Boy Abunda. I still have my hair. And it's not a showbiz. No, I just want to tell the people again, relax, watch the game, continue supporting, continue believing.
Yeah.
Because every coach has his own philosophy. I think it will be more of management on how he would get you guys to play.
Yeah.
You know, you will know anyway if let's say Phil doesn't like what he's been told to do, it'll be obvious.
Yeah.
It'll be seen. Like maybe James end up playing as a sweeper, and that's out of this world. But somebody's gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? It's up to the coach now. So I just hope that maybe Azkals management to all these aspirants that they were given already videos of your games of the past, all games, so they can see already who are the players.
Yeah.
What was
So they can get a fair idea. Of
Yeah.
exactly?
Rather than coming and properly starting from scratch.
Yeah, because
It's just like homework.
it's so, like we just said, he'll come in first training and boom.
Yeah.
What's he gonna do? Right? Later you don't know. Your first drill will be for 12-year-olds. You don't know. So, you know, I mean, we'll just have to give time. And besides, we still have. No, are you guys training already? Even before?
I think we got
Next
double
week, I
sessions
think it
next
starts
week.
next week.
Yeah, 2 or twice a day.
Officially, so you mean you tell me
Twice a
you
week.
never
Wow.
get together?
So
The Azkals never got together yet.
No,
no,
yeah.
no, yeah.
Well,
Not even with the assistant coaches. You know, I mean,
yeah.
Just each player's been busy with UFL. So.
right.
are the others coming?
For the games, for the friendlies.
Yes.
Maybe a couple of weeks before.
Neil.
Me and them in Dubai.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I'm in Malaysia.
They'll be available
We're not
for
sure.
Malaysia,
We're not
right?
sure if they're available for Malaysia yet.
Okay.
Ah.
I think I spoke to Rob and he said he'll be. Actually, he might be coming here first. Actually, he said a week before March 1, so end of the.
But for the Challenge Cup, all these other guys will be here.
Everybody should
Yeah, yeah.
be, right? It's
By
a
what?
international
2 weeks
FIFA day.
or earlier? Hopefully more.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully, right? Because
We never know.
no, but because it's dangerous with a new coach. If it was still Michael Weiss, I think it'll be easier for him because even if the guys come in and comes from a competitive league, he's in shape, regardless who the player is, and he's part of the first 11. It'll be easy because you guys know each other and you've been playing together for a long time before. You know, and besides you're professional, so you should know, and you're more mature in the game. But with a new coach, who doesn't know, he's got to just trust his staff and management to tell him what the past is. This is how it is. So hopefully, last question. Are we almost?
Yeah. No, we got more. We
There's a lot
got
of
loads of
questions.
questions.
No, there's a lot of questions, and I want to know why blue.
Blue pitch. Let you answer that, Mr. President.
That was the requirement of Chelsea. Well, Chelsea have maybe 6 or 7 blue pitches around the whole of Asia. They've got in Korea, China, Thailand, Malaysia. One of the requirements was a blue pitch, so we pitched the idea. And
But did you ever wonder? Did you ask why blue? Since the number one rule, FIFA's.
So Chelsea are blue, and that one of the requirements to have the Chelsea soccer score is blue.
Yeah.
I mean,
and plus we wanted to be different.
we pitched the idea. I mean, at the end of the day, they could have turned it down and said no, we'll go with
regular.
But they accepted the blue, the choice of having the blue field. So we have that.
I heard that the Ayala land wasn't too happy because they wanted the Azkals to be playing there. Now, because of its blue, Azkals cannot play there.
Right.
Because the field, right? The pitch color.
Good player, but.
I mean, there still needs to be grandstands built and everything for even for the Azkals to play.
Right.
So it needs to be a proper stadium for even us to play for the Azkals to even play there.
Oh, they can still train there.
That depends on the coach.
Yeah, exactly.
Depends on the coach.
All right, let's get to more questions off of Twitter. Jesus.
Who's this guy?
Can anybody read this? I'm blind. I'm sorry. Ryan Phoenix.
Hi, Ryan.
Where does Phil and James see themselves in 10 years?
Older.
Where do they see football? Where do they see Phil football in 10 years?
Wow.
Older by 10 years.
Sharp eyesight over here. I got 4 eyes. Can't see that. How old are you guys right now, by the way?
I'm 26.
26, 27?
27. Yeah.
26, 27, so 10 years, 37, 30.
Sons are older than you guys.
So when you guys are in Freddie Gonzalez territory, 36, right? I mean,
36, yeah.
Freddie, 36?
Yeah.
But he's got a voice of an 18.
Still playing?
Yeah, definitely still playing. Yeah, still playing. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Whether we'll be good enough, we don't know. But you see all these professionals. They say when the body can't do it, that's the time to stop. Maybe if I'm 35 and my I'm dying out there, I'll probably stop. But hopefully, still playing in 10 years, and then probably just. I mean, our future will always be in football.
You in 10 years. James in the next 9 years because you're a year older, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my goals to go longer than all the same.
Okay, let's say for example you guys retire. I forgot, but there's a question tweet. I don't know who you are, I forgot who you are. Do you see yourselves owning a team?
Like bet.
Or putting up a team?
I would love to own a team. I would love to own a facility.
Thank you, Philippian.
Hey guys. I think all the Philippines and
Who's he?
Philippians.
Fan club.
Fan club.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry ho.
Hey guys.
Nakalimutan ho.
Hello.
Own a team.
I would like to. Well, you see, Beckham. He's just got Miami.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, he's got that.
Miami. He's signing the contract.
He bought the team.
He's made a team. He's made a team.
There's 3 partners.
A franchise.
They've got a franchise.
In the
They're
MLS.
putting it up.
Yeah.
Put it up.
So a Bolivian billionaire.
How much you want to bet
And,
half the team we all be rich? All for
So I mean, I think I'd like to own a facility as well. You know, I'd
Yeah.
like to build a pitch, and obviously hopefully if I can save enough money to eventually in 10, 15 years
I think all
build
of
a
us think of
field.
that. Because when I was in college, when people were asking me, what do you want to do with football in the long run? I said, if I win the lottery, I'll make the fucking best stadium in the Philippines and I'll own it.
Yeah.
No track and field, it's just going to be a pitch.
Right.
And I'm going to own it and I will decide who plays and who doesn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think, and now it's a good business. There's so many teams that need fields,
Exactly.
and now you can earn your money back.
Right.
So owning a team, yeah, that would be. I mean, hopefully, I'm in the situation where everything's my expense is all for fun, and is I don't need that money. The money can be as a marketing expense or something, or maybe own a company that the marketing expense is just purely building the team and football, and so hopefully I'll be in that position one day.
And the name of their club would be the Younguns. Younguns FC. Unique. Mark my word. Younguns. Young ones. Younguns.
Malabon, so Malabon will be our area.
Malabon.
Malabon FC.
Malabon FC.
So there's
FC Pancit.
Malabon FC, yeah. We'll start a Pancit business.
so there's no thoughts of getting into management.
I think coaching.
Straight after we
something.
play, I think. I think the plan would be, if we ever did, own a club. That would be much further on. But after playing, we want to get into coaching.
I mean, we have the Younghusband Football Academy and the Chelsea Soccer School. And
What'd you say? Younguns?
Yeah.
It started already.
But that would so that we're just making a foundation and a base so that when we do stop playing we can just coach and be with the kids and have fun and teach them what we've learned, you know.
You guys have the patience with the kids.
Yeah.
You have patience with the kids.
With the kids.
I've learned to have patience with the kids.
Depends what age.
Experience.
I told you, I don't have the patience, but I love watching the kids.
Yeah.
I will handle 13 up. Not 13.
You delegate. You just have someone.
Yeah, I do, but I love it. I love watching these kids, especially when you see a small kid. You know, I was just in Bacolod last week for 2 days and a half to recruit, for all my team. I saw a 12-year-old boy. I call him a mini gorilla, short, stocky, 12-year-old. But guys, I'm telling you, you won't see that. Oh man, left and right.
Yeah.
He's playing for the Negros regional team for the Palarong Pambansa. He's playing as a striker. But I talked to his parents. I think his dad is a tricycle driver or whatever. The parents are okay with it. It's up to the kid to decide if he wants to come with me to Sobel. Yeah. And you know, my hair stood up watching him. So I was watching everybody. And I asked one of my former players who was a coach there. I said, where are the parents of this kid? Where's he from? Public school. But hey man, left and right. Good crosses.
What age?
12.
I'm not sure if he was 12 or 11 going on 12. But then in that same team, I saw a 10-year-old of a former Negros player. I just told him, Koy, your son, huh? Coach, it's too young. Not yet. It's only grade 5. I'm not talking about. I'm saving 2 years from now. I mean, in the provinces, it's surprising that you can see these kids. It's so, it's heartwarming to see Filipino kids that you don't see decades ago.
Yeah.
You see them when they're already in high school, maybe in college.
Yeah.
But now you can see, this is a good sign for the coaches, the young coaches that we have. And I'm proud to say two of the coaches were my former players.
Right.
And, at least I brought that out to them. You know the Futcaleros?
Yeah.
That's Peter.
Yeah.
Pete, he was my player.
Yeah.
Candice, Football Fanatics.
Yeah.
She's my player. Tell you a story. Dad, Candice Sobel graduate, the Saltas graduate, took her master's in the States, had a very good high-paying job in the States. Came back to the Philippines and put up Football Fanatics. I saw that one time in the family in somewhere in Alabang dinner. It says, Coach, what do you do to your players? I said, what the fuck? What did I do again? What did I do? Why? No, Candice, LaSalle Sobel, LaSalle University. And then she says a college in the States, masters and all that, head of playing, comes down here, comes back to the Philippines, and puts on a freaking football school. I just asked a question to Dad.
I like that.
I said, is she earning well? Oh, very well. So what's the problem? She can always, she's got a college degree. She can always, if she doesn't want to, she can always go back, you know?
But that's the point we were saying earlier. If you can influence these young kids now, and it's, whatever they become when they're older, they'll get into football,
Yes.
they'll invest in football, whether
You know,
it be
I think-
time or whatever.
You know, I think you guys, I think when you get to that, when you're full-time coaching kids and all this, regardless of what age, when you see them succeed after their educational years, I think you'll be more proud
yeah.
than you're playing
Yeah.
or what you achieve as a player. You know, I'm saying this as like a father now. Father, not Lolo.
Are you sure? Sorry.
Father,
I was like,
I'm young, 55. But you know, it's very rewarding.
Yeah.
The fruits of your labor, you see it.
Yeah.
Because when we play, that's our fruit. That's
Yeah.
our own personal.
You're more proud.
Yeah, but when you do something, and then you had a big influence in putting them into doing what you did. You know, football. Of course, they'll be different. They'll do it different because they'll be more dynamic. Because you see, the kids at general, you will be old already. You know, we're old school. They'll be new school. Then you see them do this. I mean, you know, if anybody has done that and will not admit that they are proud and honored to see a former player do that, that person's not human. He's a prick or a bitch.
let's get to another question from Ryan. How do you respond to opposing players who try to roughhouse you during games and try to get under your skin? Sure, this happens.
Yeah, Phil.
Sure, this happens a lot.
Last game, I think. Well, anyway.
So you know,
The Stallion game was fun, right?
yeah. It's not worth it at the end of the day. I don't think it's. I mean, at the end of the day, you win the game, you win the fight, you win the battle.
Yeah.
No matter what you say on the field, no matter what I say, no matter what that person says to me, as long as you win the game, you've won the battle. So for me, as I said, you're talking on the field, and if you win the game, then there's no argument. There's nothing else
They
anyone
can't
can say.
come back.
So yeah, I mean, just win the game and make sure you have a good game.
So what happened to Zidane? Did they win?
No,
Italy, they lost?
so we lost it. Yeah.
That's why you get pissed.
Happy B.
No, that last question for Phil, you know. No, but what does it say, Phil? James didn't answer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you get targeted for
Have you
in games
been-
as well? Get
all the time,
roughhoused?
all the time.
All the
Yeah.
time.
Nah, it's,
I see your
I
reaction.
get around now, but nah, it's good I have good teammates to help calm me down.
Right.
So, yeah.
I think if it's physical, you just hope the referee makes the right decision. That's what you're more than anything. You're just hoping the referee sees it or gives the right call.
So if it's verbal, you guys don't respond much?
It depends what they say. If it's personal, then you have to. But as I say, if you win the game, there's nothing anyone else can say.
It's one-upsmanship.
Right.
But if you're picon, you know the word picon,
Yeah.
they always say, ang picon talo,
Yeah.
the picon will lose.
Please, yeah.
Because they're playing with your head.
Yeah.
And if you bite into it, then you lose. But
Yeah.
when you win and you scored pa,
Yeah.
you know, eat my
So you
shit,
can do
man.
that.
The same thing. That question from Ryan Felix.
Yeah, I mean,
Ryan again.
yeah, when you go home, you forget what was even said.
Exactly.
You know? But you still remember the scoreline, you know.
Yes,
So-
yes.
You laugh about it afterwards.
I think James likes to remind people to the scoreline.
I know. I should. I've
Run up to the stands and do a little
He's
It's gonna be different. It's gonna be different for you guys who play a lot of football than, let's say, high school kids or college kids. That's gonna end up in a rumble.
Right. Happy B.
Happy B.
If given a chance to pick a normal day job, what would it be? Oof, tough one.
Masahista.
What's a normal day job? Yeah.
Define the normal.
What's a normal day job?
Like, I don't
9 to
know.
5.
9 to 5.
I love movies, so I'd work in the movie house.
Movies.
Yeah.
The movie house.
Yeah, just eat popcorn every day, watching all the movies.
Be a critic, man. Be a critic. Just watch
I'll be a
movies.
critic, look.
4 stars.
Phil's thinking.
Because I'd like
What would I look good in?
I'd like to start my own business and be in the office.
You're more of the businessman kind. You're the more relaxed. I can see.
I'm more of the artist.
There it is.
I don't know. Well, I'd have to. As I said, I'd like to be in the office and just rent a field out that I own.
Same
That's it.
field there.
But I did mathematics when I was in college. So my dad was a chartered accountant. So maybe go into something in that field.
Wow.
Or something. But ideally, I'd like to have something involved in football, whether it be playing, coaching, or maybe it's just sitting in the office watching the kids play. That's what I'd do.
I think
Football pa rin.
all your answers wrong. Because it's not gonna happen. It's like me, when people say, what you're gonna do, I've had offers in multinational companies before in sales because you know I love to talk. I said, freaking A, you're gonna make me a salesman? Fuck that. I'm gonna play football no matter what. You know?
Yeah.
Is being a call boy a normal job?
Call boy?
Call boy. James can be.
That's not 9 to 5, that's 9 to 10 p.m.
What are you getting at?
All right, I think that's all the time we have. We do have to give out the
Oh yeah.
mechanics of how to win the shirt that Phil is wearing
It's a bit sweaty
right now. I think that adds to the value a little bit. And then of course,
Smell, it's more expensive now.
if you can grab that, Coach Hans, please. Yeah, we're giving out the Azkals jersey as well. Phil, did you wear this one?
I won against Hong Kong.
Against Hong Kong.
Against Hong
We
Kong.
have them sign this.
Yeah?
We had stuff thrown at us. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
right.
the game where we got racial abuse.
That's right.
Ah.
That's right. Yeah, FIFA ruled in our favor for that one, right?
they gave them a fine, didn't
Good,
they?
good. All right, so this one is up for grabs. What we need from you guys is to go on our Twitter, which is hands-on-NMF, and we need you guys to follow that Twitter account and push it up to 1,000 followers. All right, we need your help on this. And person who is the 1,000th follower, is it the 1,000th follower, or are we gonna choose?
First 1,000.
Are we? Once we reach 1,000, we're gonna choose a random follower throughout the 1,000, who will win both. Both?
Both?
Oh, one this.
We'll
This
sign it,
first.
right?
Yeah.
It was-
We'll get this signed by Phil and James. So yeah, we'll have two winners from the 1,000. One will get this, and one will get the shirt that Phil's wearing right now, which is from the Younghusband Football
So,
Academy.
1,000 caller and 1,001.
1,000 follower, all right? That's at hands-on-NMF. Follow the page
What
or
are you on
follow
now?
the Twitter account. What's that?
What are you on now?
We need a bit of help. I think we're at like less than 200. 200
What?
followers
Tweet?
on the hands-on-NMF one?
I don't.
Yeah, we're gonna need some help from you guys on Twitter.
Okay.
These guys got a lot of Twitter followers. I only got like 1,600. It's not gonna do much help.
But I don't think about that. I think about the viewership almost.
Yeah. No. Well, we're pushing it up so that we'll have more promos through the Twitter account as well in the future. So
Right now, they're already tweeting, that's for sure.
all right. So there you go. Hong Kong shirt, Azkals, and the Younghusband Football
Hong Kong
Academy.
shirt.
Azkals shirt played
Ascot shirt,
in the Hong
Phil
Kong
wore
game.
against Hong Kong.
So
Horrible
UAE
host.
shirt.
Oh, is this UAE?
Yeah, UAE. Yeah.
So we're gonna get confused a little bit more. We're gonna confuse you some more. This is worn against UAE. There it is.
Just say warm up.
All right, Phil Younghusband shirt that he wore in UAE. This is a very tight shirt, man.
I like them tight. Yeah. Show some muscle. What little muscles I have, I tried to show.
James didn't bring any because James lacks shirts at home.
I do actually.
Shirts, you know.
Next time. Next time. I
said
promise.
that.
Next time.
A lot of people watching, boy.
I guarantee next time I will.
This is one of 3.
All right.
These are all I have.
Once again, we'd like to thank Sarah's LaSalle Football Club for supporting us throughout the entire season. You guys have been amazing, allowing us to do this, to sit down with people from Philippine football and to sit them down for an hour and a half. It's a real pleasure, and we really appreciate the support you guys are throwing our way. Hungry Juan, we appreciate the support, guys, for sponsoring the show today. Follow them on Twitter. It's at hungry_Juan. That's Juan, in case you're wondering. And they're also on Instagram, Hungry Juan on Instagram. All right, make sure you guys follow them there. Okay, hands on NMF for us. And 1,000th one, we'll start giving away the goodies, the signed goodies from James and Phil Younghusband. All right?
Next.
Oh, we got to thank the viewers, of course. The
Thank the
viewers,
viewers.
we love you
Almost-
guys so much. Appreciate it.
The average of almost 24,000. We're shocked. No, we're shocked.
We're shocked.
No, really, we're shocked that a lot of people like to see verbal abuse anyway. Hopefully the next season we get double of that. And then thank you again to Leary Anson,
Yeah.
team owner of Sarah's LaSalle.
And LGR,
And
guys.
LGR, Ryan, and Sonia, thank you very much. We're waiting for more.
Yeah. We'll be giving you guys, maybe hopefully soon, some of our shirts then.
Yeah,
The hands-on shirts.
Yeah.
Rep hands
Don't worry,
on.
I'll sign it.
So yeah, appreciate the support, guys, and we'll see you for the second season. Hopefully, we'll have Thomas Dooley on the show, and hopefully the brothers as well. If you guys are free,
Happy
you
to
guys
come back.
and
Have a good time.
Definitely.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it.
Maybe one time we can have half of the Azkals And let's see who sold suit. We'll invite Jason De Jong twice. He has to be here because I can really fool around with him.
We can find the players that hate each other and then bring them.
Oh, that'll be good.
That's an awesome one.
That'll be good. We'll have a barbed wire.
We'll see you guys for season 2. Once again, so much for the support. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys when we come around. The next guest will be...
Next guest will be, you'll know when we know.
Peace, guys. See you.
See you guys.